The story I am about to tell you is a lesson for those who like to play with fire in life. Perhaps many of us will recognize ourselves in Tuk, the main character of this tale. So discover what happened to him. Tuk was a young man, around 20 years old, a child of his time, eager for modernity and progress. To him, everything the elders believed and respected was nothing but superstition. He rejected traditions and considered ancient taboos absurd and meaningless. At the end of the university year, he decided to go on vacation to a place reputed to be mystical and dangerous. "I'll prove to you," he proudly declared to his friends, "that I am immune to curses." His friends tried to warn him, but Tuk was stubborn. Nothing could stop him once he had made up his mind. So, the reckless young man traveled to a village called Ambatunjazak, a place inhabited by the descendants of the Vazimb, the first people of Madagascar. It was said that they possessed extraordinary abilities. Some could turn invisible, others mastered teleportation, and telekinesis was mere child's play to them. But Tuk didn't believe a word of it. As soon as he arrived, he rushed to the first brothel he could find. A die-hard partygoer, he couldn't resist a night of debauchery. Singing, dancing, alcohol, and snacks. He let himself be carried away by the euphoric atmosphere until he noticed Menj, a young woman of bewitching beauty. Young, slender, with perfect curves, she immediately ignited his desire. After a few words and a quick negotiation, he struck a deal with her, and they retreated to a private room. Tuk indulged in pleasure without restraint, proud of his youth and vigor. He dominated Menj with brutal passion, convinced he had proven his manhood once the act was over. After a while, Menj got up and calmly said, "I'm going to take a shower." Tuk flashed a sly smile. This was exactly what he had been waiting for. As soon as she disappeared behind the bathroom door, he grabbed all his belongings and ran off without paying. The night was quiet as Tuk strolled down the street, pleased with his little scam. A smug grin stretched across his face as he thought about the young woman he had just tricked. What a fool! I got her good! But suddenly, an urgent need struck him. He stepped to the side of the road to relieve himself, unzipped his pants, and his blood ran cold. His manhood was gone. "What kind of nightmare is this?" he screamed. Terrified, he felt his entire body frantically search through his pants, checking every corner. But no, it was completely gone. Panic took hold of him, and he burst into tears. A passerby, hearing his wailing, stopped and asked, "What's wrong, young man?" "I've been cursed," Tuk stammered, his voice trembling. "My manhood has disappeared. I'm finished. I can't even pee anymore." The man thought for a moment before asking, "Which woman did you sleep with last?" "Menj," Tuk sobbed. "I left without paying her. Go back to her immediately and give her the money. If you don't, your misfortune will last forever." Without hesitation, Tuk ran back to the brothel and found Menj. He threw himself at her feet, begged for forgiveness with tears in his eyes, and finally handed her the money he owed. The moment she took the money, Tuk felt a strange sensation in his pants. A sudden sound of gushing water echoed like a waterfall. Around him, the clients and the prostitutes burst into laughter, mocking his state. But Tuk didn't care, because if the water was flowing, then his pipe was back. This story is a lesson for those who love to deceive and cheat others. As a Malagasy proverb says, "He who constantly throws stones will eventually hit a spirit in the eye."